History is something that can help you guide yourself in the future. It's something that's part of who people are, and it explains a lot of things about why people act the way they act if you know what the history is, and that's an individual or a family or even a city. There's so much rich history here. Pensacola was discovered in 1559 when Don Tristan de Luna landed at Pensacola Beach, which was actually 6 years before St. Augustine was discovered. So we're really the first place in America, and unfortunately Pensacola didn't survive those 6 years due to a hurricane. The crews landed in Pensacola, and when they came back a few years later, everyone was gone.
Scott Barrow's own history started in Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he would not shy away from an adventure.
We'd heard a rumor that there was going to be a movie that was produced in Pensacola, and the name of the movie was going to be Jaws 2. There was a casting office. Some friends of ours piled in the car, and we drove down the beach and filled out the forms and signed up for to be an extra in the movie, not knowing if we'd ever get a phone call back. Well, within about 24 hours, I got the first phone call. They said, you're going to be an extra in the movie, and you're going to be sailing a sailboat, and you're going to be doubling for one of the main characters. As a senior in high school, I don't think I really appreciated what I was really getting to experience, but it was completely fascinating.
But it was spending time with his dad that influenced his actual career path.
I basically grew up in this bank. My dad was a banker and was at a predecessor of this organization, so kind of growing up many years ago when I was a child, whether it was being coming to events here or working in the mailroom when I was a teenager. So I started there and worked my way up over the years from the construction loan department to commercial lending and ultimately into private banking.
Scott's understanding of his clients' needs helped propel him to his current position as Private Wealth Management Area Manager.
Scott's really good about digging deep, and taking the opportunity to get to know people, at a deeper level than most. In our business, we use the term perpetual discovery, meaning that we want to use every interaction with people, whether it be teammates or clients, to understand them better. And Scott displays that, and mentors that really well because there's a genuineness about him.
He emphasizes the importance of meaningful relationships by emailing his entire market with recognition and team success stories.
By sending those emails out, every associate in the market gets to see that story and think about, wow, that's really special. That reminds me of the client that I had at my teller window yesterday or seated at my desk yesterday. And it's not just hearing the story, it's seeing the photograph and hearing the details of what took place that enables us to be successful identifying the same opportunity to introduce our partners across the bank to our best clients.
Scott is also the market executive for South Alabama and the Florida Panhandle.
The role of market exec gives him that opportunity to really get involved in the things that have the most purpose for him and have the most meaning for him. Whether he's engaged in the Cattle Barons Ball, which supports the American Cancer Society, or whether he's involved with UWF and their preservation efforts of Pensacola history. He's very passionate and he's very expressive about what he enjoys and what he wants to see happen.
Having Scott serve on the UWF Historic Trust Board, he's also on the Board of Governors of the Fiesta Five Flags, and he's just well known in the community, and that type of person can help bring people together. With Scott, he's what you see is what you get. He's very energetic and he's a connector, so he has an idea and he wants to get all the people in the room together. Let's discuss this idea, and usually it's people from a whole variety of different organizations. Let's have a conversation and let's let everybody moving in the same direction to make sure we accomplish the goal.
University of West Florida is a campus that's actually located about 9 miles north of Pensacola, and they made a significant investment in Pensacola by buying a bunch of historical buildings in downtown Pensacola. And because of that, there's an energy related to these great buildings that have been restored and people can enjoy that people have always seen but not known much about that. So there was already a movement in place for the history of Pensacola and the stories that were emerging, the stories that were being told.
We started talking about some murals, and about a year and a half ago, the trust put 2 up. There's one over here next to my building. There's one over here coming off Barrick Street that are depicting, what was going on at the time. My building, which we've just got the frames in place, we're putting an old painting that was actually painted from a postcard about 1890, and it shows sailing ships loading lumber. Scott's going to do something over there at Region showing, one of the old hotels. We've got somebody else who's going to do a map from 1790 approximately. And, that will become a tourist attraction in itself. People will follow that. When you're in front of it, it'll tell you what's going on in that picture. And, it's one of those things when he said, I'm going to jump on this, it's going to be taken care of.
I think in the community, being able to leverage history that you have with individuals for a common cause, I think is a great opportunity and a great way to make something special. And that's my goal.
For Scott Barrow, history is life. And Scott's mark on history is the time and dedication he spends giving back to his family and friends, but mostly to the community that he cares for so passionately.